Let's take you abroad at this hour. Railway workers launching the UK's biggest strike in more than 3 decades today. The RMT Rail Union argues the strike is necessary because wages have failed to keep up with inflation. After failed talks yesterday, over 50,000 employees staying away from work for 3 days this week. In London, cab companies have reported a surge in demand, while main roads have been packed with buses, cars and bicycles. The Transport Secretary in the UK says she deplores the strike action because it's affecting the people's ability to get to work. Well, for the latest on this, I'm joined now by UK Correspondent Christoper Jones, who's outside Farringdon Train Station in central London. Good afternoon, Chris. The strike, is it really holding up to now?
Yeah, the disruption that has been caused by these strikes are massive, not just here in London, as you've mentioned, but across the entire UK. Around about 80% of the usual service provided by rail providers, isn't going ahead as usual. And that means for businesses and employees, they're simply not able to get to work. Here in London, lots of people live out of the centre and travel in using the railway services to get to work. But as you can see here at Farringdon, which is one of the busiest in central London, the gates are very much closed, and that is a similar thing for stations across the country. And as a result, rail workers are having to direct commuters to other forms of travel, as you mentioned just there, to buses and to taxis. But because of this increased demand, the amount of traffic has increased dramatically. Buses are completely packed, and Uber, which is one of the UK's biggest ride-hailing services, has increased its fares. So it's having a big impact on commuters financially as well. And now these strikes are due to take place obviously today, but also Thursday and Saturday as well. And as far as we can see at the moment, there's no real solution being brought forward by the rail networks, but also the union RMT, which is leading these strikes. So no real solution in sight at the moment.
Yeah, and is the main issue around salaries? Are there other demands by the union?
Yes, so pay rises are part of the issue. They want a pay rate that is in line with inflation, which is around about 11% in the UK, but also they want it to go up as inflation goes up. Currently, they have an offer that doesn't involve that. The offer that's on the table at the moment would essentially be a pay cut, because the offer would not rise with inflation, but also it's around redundancies. The RMT union says that if the amount of redundancies go ahead and the rail networks make these thousands of redundancies, then there could be safety implications on the tracks all around the UK. And obviously, the union wants to avoid that. There are conversations ongoing surrounding both of these issues, but as I say, no real solution has been brought forward just yet.
Yeah, so negotiations, I presume, will continue. The strike is for 3 days, today being day 1.
That's right. Today is day 1 of the strike, and people are really experiencing what it's going to be like for the next few days. So we're going to see strikes on Thursday, but Saturday as well. And as you can see, this is pretty much empty. This is normally a busy area at this time. People passing through to various other stations. The Diamond District isn't too far away. And also, this is a major route for St Pancras, which is one of the UK's busiest train stations. Negotiations, as we say, are underway at the moment. The government, though, isn't getting involved. That's what it's saying at the moment. It's even gone as far as to call this a stunt and to say that RMT union has walked away from negotiations that have previously happened. Now, RMT are debating that. They say that they have been engaging in talks and haven't walked away from any just yet. But all of this miscommunication, as I said, has not led to any solution solution. And although we've got these strikes for the next coming few days, if a solution isn't reached soon, we could see more in the coming weeks and months.
Thank you very much, Christoper. That's Christoper Jones, our correspondent in the UK outside Farringdon train station there in London. As day one